giving us dry one-liners.
Here we are. We're live now.
There we are.
Here I am.
Here I am.
We'll put up the usual here. We get the. Oh, that's
my phone's about to die, so I can't track us on Facebook like a normal.
That's okay. No, nobody
cares.
Nobody cares enough.
Especially when it's just us two. It seems that we have a lot less viewership.
Well, that's because people are like.
There's too much mats.
There's too many mats.
Too many
mats going on there.
Too many mats.
Too many mats. Squishing and squirming.
There you go. He probably will fall over.
Yeah, I'm sure he will at some point in the show, as per usual.
Yep. He'll just dip out and go to another dimension.
That's right. All right. Well, I guess we'll start the show. We have somebody. Hello, somebody.
Hello.
Wherever you are.
Welcome to our show.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NPR hour with Matt and Matt.
We're just the NPR.
We're going to do a Tiny Desk concert.
Yep.
Later on with just tubas and a banjo and one of those washboards.
Washboard time. That's right.
Washboard, tuba, banjo, trio.
That's right. When you use
trio duo.
Use all those abs.
Washboard abs.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Thanks, Deirdre. Deirdre says you're going to keep the serial killers up. I forgot. Yeah.
Can she see them on the
Yeah, you
stream?
can. Yeah, you can see here. I'll show you.
Well, we just really like serial killers here.
Today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
all.
You can see them up there in the corner.
Oh, she's just reading the chart part, but you don't see.
You can't see the names. Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave them up there.
We like killers here at the Kickstarter with Matt and Nat.
All we do is kill time.
We worship death and the death of your valuable time being on this show.
Just waiting for the sweet embrace.
Welcome to the graveyard. This is where your time goes to die.
Start from NPR to the graveyard.
we span the whole gamut. Okay?
That's right. That's
of entertainment. Right. That's why we're a great show.
Yeah.
And we need somebody to sponsor us.
Yep. We need some sponsors of death. Death sponsors.
Sponsors of the
sponsor our death, please.
Oh my God! Can you imagine that? Sponsored death.
Death sponsors.
When you go to your coffin's plastered with just advertisements and shit,
stickers and everything. It's
Chevron and
wonderful.
Fucking. And they got BP and everything as you're going in the ground.
Everybody that you want and nothing that you don't.
We want our advertising to persist into the afterlife.
That's right. Because what good is it? What good are you if you're not making money? This is America.
You are worth nothing.
That's right. Your bloated corpse is just taking up space for internet memes.
I want to turn this into a $sign somehow, and I'll find out how.
Oh, there's a way.
Oh, we will find.
We're gonna figure it out too. All right, let's figure out how to do a show.
Let's figure out. Yeah, we're still working on it. 239 episodes in.
We'll get it eventually. Maybe 500. We'll finally figure out the formula. We're going to give ourselves some space.
This show will be buried with our sponsors.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep, we'll sponsor our own coffins.
Marlboro and Fat Tire.
Yeah,
those will be our sponsors.
Yep, mine will be Jack Daniels, Frank's Hot Sauce / Buffalo Chicken Dip, and. Acid cigars, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's
pomade.
Sort of called pomade. I don't use pomade very often.
Keep my hair very slick.
This is all level
Slick
5 Tresemme.
You think this is slip back? This is push back.
Push back. God. All right, let's do it.
All right, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Gate and then space.
What does that do? Did that blow your mind?
That just happened.
This corner weighing in at 180 pounds.
Darkness, everybody!
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth.
Bunch of fucking amateurs. Am I wrong? No. Am I wrong? Yeah. Okay, then.
Hail to the king, David.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.
If you tell anyone about this, I'll fucking kill you. I'm kidding. We'll come back by tonight. Okay.
What's going on, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Kickstart with Matt
And Matt.
and the newly ghostized, pixelated Chris. There we go. If you're joining us on the video feed
Chris
live
from
right
the Pixel
now,
Dimension.
Chris is here in the pixel dimension. Unfortunately,
don't speak in the
there is-
Pixel Dimension.
There's no speech.
There's no words there.
There's no speech
and
there.
And therefore, our podcast is way more enjoyable because we don't actually talk about anything.
We say
in that
nothing.
dimension.
We say nothing, and we just pollute the view.
We are just eye pollution.
Exactly.
As they call it.
Eye pollution. That's right.
That's
It's
what
like
I
those
wanna be.
floaters that you get once you start to
I
get
hate
older.
those.
Oh man,
I'm starting to get
You
old
look-
because I
you
got all
look
those
really-
fucking
yeah,
things.
I had a real one the other day, man. It's crazy. We're getting old. We're getting old,
that point.
and eventually we won't have to do the show anymore.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's going to be
Put
great.
me right in the ground with a
Syndication
microphone
reruns.
in there. I would love for the podcast to continue on and just be the sounds of us decomposing.
That would be fine. Yeah,
People would
worms
enjoy
and-
that too.
Yeah, we can
Just
we
being
can
eaten.
we can probably set that up. yeah, it's the liquefaction. Yeah, that's definitely what
Why
we're shooting
don't-
for.
Somebody needs to make, and I guess this would take like a couple of years or at least a few years. Somebody needs to make a TikTok,
Yeah.
considering it's so popular now. A TikTok of just their body decomposing,
Oh yeah,
but sped up,
yeah,
100 times,
How
1,000
long are
times.
were they like 15, some 30 seconds or something like that? I
Yeah.
think there's some time limit.
Yeah, it's like Vine,
I mean, you'd have to do a whole bunch of them in a row.
right?
You'd be better off doing like a reel or something like that. I think on Instagram because I think they can be longer.
Yeah. Well, you're saying that we had to have to speed up the decomposition
Yeah,
process
because it doesn't happen that
by
fast.
like 1,000%.
Yeah,
And then, just watch a body just melt basically in
Right.
real time.
right. Rather than 10,000%, where we just go like. boop.
I want to be famous forever. It's like, the Sphinx and the pyramids in Egypt? That's me on TikTok now.
Fame, I want to live forever.
I'll always be around and people will remember my one meme about mayonnaise. Fuck you.
A mayonnaise meme was my one claim to fame. It's all worthless now. There's all these mustard memes everywhere.
Mayonnaise is out. It's mustard time.
That's right. That's right. We're not looking for any of that egg solution. Who the fuck was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take these eggs, we're gonna whip them up, and we're gonna put them on everything. It's gonna be great.
I love eggs.
I love eggs and olive oil. You like that too? Put them together, whip them up. Man, that's going to be some good stuff. We're going to use that on everything.
It's called a miracle because it's so good.
That's right. That's right.
Miracle Whip. It's delicious.
Oh my god.
It was like someone had a surplus of eggs and they just couldn't figure out what more to do with them.
I really think that's what it
Easter's
was.
fine because I got an excuse for
I
them.
told them I wanted to have chickens because it would be fun, but now we have all these eggs and we don't know what to do with them. They're going bad in the fridge. Let's whip them up with some other stuff in the fridge. I hate to think about what any of the other concoctions were before they finally settled on mayonnaise.
Well, these people weren't scientists, I can tell you that
Yeah,
much, who
yeah.
came up with it.
And I think they called it that because they were like, mayonnaise is terrible.
Man, these eggs is terrible.
This is terrible. This is awful. Apparently, Deirdre says that you can do up to 3 minutes on TikTok now. So
Well, there you
that
go.
means we only have to do maybe 800%, 800% speed up for the
Yeah.
decomposition
You
process.
think that would cover the
capture it?
entirety of getting to bones?
I think it all depends upon the quality of soil,
Mhm.
the environment, the temperature plays a large role, and the amount of moisture in the ground.
I'm just realizing the logistics here.
Yeah.
You're gonna put a camera in a coffin,
Yeah.
bury it,
Mhm.
and leave it in there for like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna dig it back up.
No, you don't have to. Just run a line.
Live stream it? Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
just
true, yeah.
put it down there, run it up, put it on a solar panel, stick that on top of the headstone, and that way the sun's constantly charging the camera, and then it can also bring that up. You can do an external, almost like a security camera, where you can record from another location.
That's true. We can do this with the live death stream, live stream.
Yeah,
Live death stream.
Live
with
death stream
With Matt
with
and
Matt and Matt.
It's a service we'll provide at the Patreon level.
That's right.
Level 4.
That's
You
right.
give us
level
enough
4.
money, we'll we'll live stream your death.
Whatever you want. Yeah, we will
We'll
live,
keep you
we'll live
alive.
stream, and we'll do commentary after it's all over.
That would be great.
We'll go back. We're like, this is the part that I love. Look, his
Man.
eyes are falling right into his head. This is
Give a- Like
fantastic.
sports news, like sportscasters.
Yeah. We're falling all over each other. Oh, his tongue is gone.
There's the femur popping out, all the flesh finally melted away from it. That's what I've been waiting for, Matt. And that's what I call decomposition.
That's decomposition.
We're like
at the
drawing
front.
plays on the
Here you can see all this whole muscle system is completely depressed into the body now. Just it's filling up with liquid. It's
We
crazy
get
stuff.
doctors every week. We'll do the show for you if
Oh,
you pay us
man.
enough money.
We could,
Just write us into your will.
yeah,
basically.
exactly.
You know, put us
We're
in
gonna
there.
have. Speaking of all of this, we're gonna have some exciting new content soon, where Matt and I are going to be watching things.
Oh yeah, we talked about this.
and discussing them. So I'm
Oh,
really
boy.
looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
You're just gonna hear more of my ire and anger.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to hear you yell about things that don't really matter, but yet still
I can't help
enrage
it.
you.
I do this. I'm all by myself.
Yeah.
I have just me and my cat at home.
Well, what else are you going to do? You know,
I got nothing else to do. I'm just
Exactly.
gonna yell about stuff that bothers me,
right?
and I have plenty of thoughts about it.
Well, then there you can hold on to him too.
Oh yeah, this is great. Ah! This guy looks like he's like when the Doom, like from the original Doom, when you get fucking hurt.
When the Doom
When you know when the Doom gets hurt in the Doom game and they blow up the Doom demons. This is fucking
I
great.
don't know why.
I love this new pixel
There he
art.
is.
There we go. I fucking love it. Just Alex Jones
There you go.
screaming his head off. This is my avatar for forever.
We'll have to put some double-sided tape on there.
That's what we gotta do.
Yeah. So
And if you like anger,
Yep.
you're gonna love this new.
you're going to love this
segment.
new segment. It's going to be great. We don't know what
Anybody-
we're going to call it yet, but
Does
we're going
anybody contribute to our Patreon yet?
No, we
We
have
haven't.
we have
We got
no
0
Patreon
patrons.
members. And if
Okay.
anyone is listening to this show, all right, and you are involved with the show in some capacity, you better not become a Patreon supporter because that's called an Oribus. That's the snake biting its own tail. The whole point is to get rich, and we can't get rich if we have, it's
You're already part of the team.
exactly. You're already on the team. You don't have to buy your way.
I feel better about our audience
Yeah.
knowing that we have no patrons because
Yes.
that means that our audience is actually smart.
Yeah,
And don't waste their
they're
money on this
intelligent.
stuff.
They're intelligent.
They listen
there's
to
no
me when
pressure.
I say it's trash.
This is what we want. We want people to be aware of what is actually valuable in life and what is not. And right now,
This is so good. I love this little pixel Alex Jones.
it was so much fun to make because this is by the way, I was telling Matt yesterday, this is like my new meditative experience.
You're in your grandma knitting phase.
Man, it's more my grandfather knitting phase because my grandfather was a watchmaker, and this is the same sort of stuff. When I ordered these pieces, they were far smaller than I anticipated them being, probably a third of the size of what I anticipated.
Oh, really?
I have to use tweezers to set these things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I love it because they're so tiny and I have to really focus on each little piece. But the best part was I freestyled this because obviously I don't think
Well, that's why I
anyone's
was
ever
so
made this
impressed by
before.
it. This is and then if you're not watching the live stream, look,
We'll
back,
put it
watch
on our
our live
Instagram.
stream.
It'll be on our Instagram.
we'll show you a picture. But this, if you are watching the live stream, this is such a perfect cartoonish rendition in this pixel art form of Alex Jones. When you look at it, it's Alex
Yeah,
Jones.
right.
So it's a really great interpretation of him.
Yeah,
I would say.
it was so much fun because there's this one picture of him that I don't have it on the soundboard or anything, but he used to have sideburns that went to the bottom of his earlobes,
Mhm.
but at some point he shaved them up to the top of his temples, and he had his hair cut real short, but the same haircut, just
Yeah.
a lot shorter. So it looked like his head had enlarged, and he had this little tiny haircut on top. And I loved that so much because it was so disproportionate. So when I started making this, I was using the sideburns as a division point, but then I thought, no, I want that tiny haircut. So I just kept taking away sideburns until it finally got up to like here. Like, this is where I want it to be. This is good.
Exactly it.
Yeah, he's it's fun. So we'll see what other shenanigans I end up making. I'm definitely going to make Matt and I. If you've ever seen the, I think we've shown it on the live stream a couple times.
Yeah.
I made a background basically from like Super Mario Brothers from NES, and it's got Chris and Matt and I, and then Party Jesus is standing on top of a water tower, and he's turning the water coming out of the spout into wine that's then going into one of those what is it,
the piranha plants.
piranha plants, yeah, and it's just drinking and drinking and drinking.
He's just drinking, guzzling it
Yeah.
down, and his throat gets
So we're gonna
expands with all the wine.
yeah.
Fantastic. It's
So
great.
I think we might do Matt and I, and maybe Party Jesus too, to
yeah.
get them, and then who knows who else.
And if
is
you're paying up
gonna
on the
be-
Patreon,
that's right. We'll make you too.
You'll get your own
That's right.
pixelated
We'll
version
make
of
you
yourself.
in the pixelated format. Yes, indeed.
We could do commissions like that
Yeah.
if we wanted to
Yeah.
have something as a part of our little world.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be part of our world?
You want to be part
Give
of
us
our
money!
pixelated world? That's what we'll do. We'll fill all the empty space on the back wall full of
That would-
pixelated characters.
That'd be sweet.
That's how we're going to do it. We've just made this decision.
That's how we'll fill our lives.
That's right.
That's how we'll fill this endless bottomless pit hole in ourselves, in our souls, and in our hearts.
Until somebody starts watching us decompose.
That's right.
That's
Just put us on-
all
Put us on a
in
live
the
feed.
interim. In the interim. Hey, Juan's here. Hey, Juan.
Juan is here.
We
He's-
are back. We
he's-
are back.
We're back, Juan.
Yep.
Back and
We're back
just
in the
as bad as
saddle
ever.
again. Yep, that's right. Just as bad as we've ever been. And
We're
not
bad,
in the,
but not in the Michael Jackson
no, I was
way.
just going to say, not in the MJ
Song way.
Not in
Wait.
the song. Right.
People argue about
This is
not
this
gonna
is
get into that.
yeah. We don't like to touch on the heavy concepts, except for death and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, well, but yes, not in the cool bad way like in the '90s. But yes, so that's that.
in the real bad way.
So I've been listening to Last Podcast on the Left for a while.
Mhm.
Okay. They just did a 3, maybe 4-part series on the Black Plague, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, this is kind of in that realm because usually their material is serial killers, aliens, and occult stuff.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, Black Plague is kind of like a terror thing. They just did, I think it was just a 1-parter on the USS Indianapolis, okay, which was the ship that transported the nuclear bombs in World War II.
Okay.
Okay. But the problem is that there was a Japanese submarine that shot it with torpedoes and sunk it in shark-infested waters. So they talked about the whole process of this ship sinking, and over the course of these 3 days, because they were on a covert mission, they didn't get rescued until somebody was flying overhead, and they said it looked like there were a bunch of coconuts floating in the water.
Look at all these body parts
Yeah.
and blood just
Right, exactly.
soaking the water.
So it's like, yes, this is a terrifying experience, but I don't really think it falls under the category of
they're running
their
running
stuff.
thin on material,
It's
probably.
like, but they're not. There's so many serial killers that didn't talk about. There's so many occult things and alien things that they haven't talked about.
But maybe their minds are going in the direction of, well, this is kind of interesting to me. Let's do this.
It's
on the
got to
show.
be. It's got to be what it is. But I don't know. But it was definitely an interesting thing to listen to the whole story of what happened and everything. Like when the torpedoes hit, a good portion of the people got like flash cooked from the
Ooh.
explosion,
Sounds
and all the rest
pretty merciful.
yeah,
actually.
well, right, exactly. That's where you wanted to be in this whole situation. That then a bunch of the people who were injured got thrown out of the ship into the salt water. So they've got open wounds in salt water. They're covered in oil from the ship,
Oh,
from the
God.
fuel, and there's sharks circling
Oh,
because they're
man.
bleeding, right? So as all that happened, as the ship was starting to go down, some of the people were jumping right before the ship was about to go underwater and everything. And as we know from every Titanic documentary, that's the worst point to go overboard because it's going to suck you under.
Yeah, that's right.
So
'cause all the-
they were talking about some people were sucked like 10 feet in a matter of seconds.
God.
Underwater. Yeah, so that's like your
That's
lungs are going to
horrific.
explode. But yes, so and then before the ship went down, as the ship was sinking, the more experienced sailors were jumping off of the back of the ship into the propellers to kill themselves because they knew what was going to happen being in the water this long.
We're
So
fucked.
that not only were a lot of them injured, but they were like some of them were strung together on these life rafts. But because the currents were so crazy, they had these giant waves that were carrying them all over the ocean. And you know, so basically, there's like all these outlying groups that think they're the only ones left alive, and so there's all this crazy stuff. Of course, their minds start to go. They're getting dehydrated because they're out in the sun. But the people who were covered in oil actually weren't as badly sunburned or whatever because of that. It actually served to protect them.
Just takes a
even
little
though it was
dawn.
right, exactly.
It's gentle for the ducks. It's good enough for me.
That's right. Yeah. But so they basically there were points where like they were fighting over like spoiled rations.
I'm
that
gonna eat
survived.
Larry. No,
Yeah.
me.
That happened later. They were arguing over who they were going to eat and everything. But the craziest part was because they were getting dehydrated and they were surrounded by water. Some of them started to lose their minds and started drinking the water.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Of course.
But the problem is that all of the commander people, the higher up people who didn't kill themselves, who were floating with them, were basically demanding that all of them that they could not throw up, because if they did that, they would get dehydrated and they would die. So so all of these people they got stuck. Yeah, right.
fuck you up.
So it was just a terrible experience, and even more so because my grandfather, who was in the military during World War II, he also was on a ship that sunk in shark-infested waters, and it took, I think, he was in the water for like 14 hours or something like that.
Oh man.
And he luckily found like debris to cling to. But while he was clinging to that debris,
Leonardo DiCaprio was there.
Yeah,
and
he was
like,
there.
I'll always love you.
It's like, I don't even know you. You weren't even on this ship. Where did you come from?
This isn't big enough for the both of us, Leo.
Yeah. So as he was clinging to this debris, he was listening to the sound of all of his other shipmates being eaten alive by sharks.
This is like the fucking Quint Jaws story.
Yeah. And that's the ship that
God.
Quinn was on.
You're talking about the tiger shark?
No, yeah.
From Jaws?
The guy from Jaws,
yeah.
the captain, he was on the USS Indianapolis in the story.
That's right. Yeah. The
So
Indianapolis.
that's the idea. So yeah. But that was
Shark going in the water, Chief. You ever seen a shark?
But it was crazy, man.
Those eyes.
I forget how many. It was tons of people, and they were talking about how they would be trying to float and everything. I mean, a lot of them had to float just like without any assistance.
Tim Curry assistance.
No,
or
Tim
anything.
Curry was helping them float anywhere, and so they were like treading water and stuff, and they were trying to do whatever they could to stay above water. And when the sharks started showing up, they would come up and they would just nudge them with their nose, like bump their feet, and then go back down and circle around just to see what they would do. And so eventually you just stopped paying attention to it. And that's when the sharks would like grab on.
Oh, God.
And if people would start fighting back, the sharks would just violently shake back and forth. And the reason that they do that is so that they can turn their mouths into a saw.
Yeah. Just
No, left and right to
that's
saw
right.
off the limbs.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they got the two.
Interlocking
What do
rows
they
of
call it?
teeth.
Yeah, the teeth,
It's,
yep.
it's like crazy. So it was again, it was absolutely a horrific thing to talk about on the show. But I just thought that was very strange.
Well,
Because
you're jaded by the whole experience.
Well, and
because
that was true.
You almost didn't exist
I was
because
like,
your grandfather
Jesus,
almost got eaten by sharks.
yeah, he's talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. So I was texting my dad. I was like, what was the name of it? It wasn't the Indianapolis, was it? He goes, no, it was before that this happened. But yeah, because he was involved. He was involved with secret missions. He helped build the first plane that broke the sound barrier and all that kind of stuff. So I know that he was involved with some secret stuff.
Actually.
Yeah, it's pretty
I remember
cool.
You showed me that when we were kids.
Yeah, I have it. I have it over in my office. It's pretty neat. It's him and a bunch of the other people
As
who
we're
were
talking about this, I'm recalling the stories that because yeah, man,
It was him and like 10 people, I think,
yeah,
or maybe he was one of 10.
It was
Something
one
like
of
that.
those things you see come up on a documentary.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he probably had that picture's probably in a documentary.
I'm sure it is.
somewhere.
I've tried over the years trying to find records of his service and where he went and what he did, but most of it isn't available publicly because of what he was
It was all,
involved with.
yeah, it was all top secret shit.
So
Which isn't, it's nothing you can't share now because it's
Yeah,
way beyond it.
yes,
you know.
and
we
he's
beat the Nazis, we
gone,
fought the Sharks.
Yeah, he died back when I was 2 years old, so it's like he's been gone for a while anyway. But yeah, he and the reason that he got involved in a lot of these programs is because he was very technologically inclined. So I suppose that's where I get it from. So he
that's true.
he was,
And you're
he
using
did
all
it.
of that talent to do a shitty
That's right.
podcast every week.
I'm a shark eating myself. Yeah, exactly. This is how I'm choosing to use
The
this.
chum
this
is your
stuff.
own tail.
Right, exactly. But yeah, that was just like a harrowing experience. That was the first time that I almost turned off an episode of that podcast. And I've listened to some pretty gruesome episodes of serial killers and stuff like that.
That's like because of the
Because
connection,
right,
the
exactly.
personal
Because
connection, yeah.
I have very often contemplated that whole thing of being in the water, not only being in the water that long and knowing that there isn't anybody coming for you. Nobody knows that you're there, right? So you're at the mercy of luck. Hopefully somebody's going to come along and find that the ship has sunk.
very low odds.
Well, and the other thing they were talking about with the Indianapolis too was that the Japanese would very often over-report the damage that they had done and say like they took down multiple ships if they only took down one, because then they would send search and rescue teams and then the submarine could sink them too. So, so they would like bait them with one, with one. So
sadistic as
it's
fuck.
It's the whole fucking thing. It was so infuriating, but at the same time, as I always say, war brings out the best and worst in people, so it shows us like the best that we can unify to kill all these other people. Right. But then we also do all of this deplorable shit and hope that we come out on top so we don't get tried for war crimes. Can you fucking imagine if the United States ever got tried for war crimes? You know all the bad shit that we have done and nobody knows about or nobody alive can talk about anymore.
Right.
You
And
know?
we just glaze over.
Oh
People
my
forget
God.
all about it, or they
It's
don't
like-
want to talk about it.
It's so crazy.
The horrific things.
Oh.
It's like, you watch those Purge movies.
Yeah.
And this is the fantasy version of what
Right.
a lawless society would be. That's war.
Yeah,
War is,
right.
There's no fucking rules. People are trying to kill you.
Well, there are, but people very seldom adhere to them. Yeah.
It's more about your individual survival and the survival of your nation.
Yep.
But when it all comes down to it, of course, it's an insane pitting two normal ass people from different countries who don't really give a fuck about any of the disputes.
Yeah.
That have been propagandized by their countries to fight each other.
Right.
Two strangers that would normally probably have a beer together in a bar
Mm-hmm.
are viciously trying to kill each other.
It's crazy. It's
That-
absolutely crazy.
That to me is the most insane part about war. Is like you don't have any reason to kill that guy.
Nope.
And in our peaceful society now, that's why it's dangerous. Ideas are dangerous, and power is dangerous to be exercised in a negative way.
Yeah.
You have to keep an eye on that shit.
Absolutely.
You cannot let that get out of control.
No. Yeah.
Otherwise, you get World War III.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, and that's I don't think that'll ever happen. It'll just be a little trading of nukes, and then the world will be glass.
Yeah, let's hope so. I
Yeah,
would love it.
that'll be
I'd
it.
love to be flash fried.
Then
when
we
I'm
don't.
done.
Yeah, exactly. Then we don't have to do the show anymore.
Right.
I
And that's
just
the best part.
don't want to die of radiation poisoning because that's having my insides melt
If you want,
while I'm alive.
you want to watch some real fucked up shit. I
Yeah.
watched this movie a long time ago. I might have mentioned it on here before. It's called Threads.
Mm-hmm.
It's a British movie, like a documentary style movie. It's from the 80s, I think, or 90s. But it's a futuristic take on if we had a nuclear war
Mm-hmm.
and what that would be like, and it's different groups of people and what happens to them.
Right.
Some people get cooked instantly.
Yeah.
Some people have to live on through the nuclear winter,
Mm-hmm.
and just it goes over the course of decades.
Right.
It is the most. I mean, don't watch it if you're in a good mood or anything. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's really fucking depressing and so realistic, and it just feels so hopeless. Like,
Yeah.
when you're done watching it, you just think, God, I hope I get cooked right away.
Exactly right.
I don't want to live through the rest of it.
If you see that bomb coming down, you're going to run towards it.
Towards it.
It's not like a tsunami. Yeah.
Go towards the light.
Go towards the light. That's where you want to be. I'll tell you the other thing that I watched is a show called Sexy Beasts. All right,
Sexy
we're
Beasts.
gonna flip this whole thing around.
Let's do it.
It's on Netflix. It's a dating show, where people go on their first date in
With animals.
grade A prosthetic makeup.
Oh,
And
this is where I know this from.
so
Okay, this is
there-
weird. I've heard of this.
Some of them are dressed up like animals. Some of them are there's one that's a zombie, one's an alien, different stuff like that. But the best part is all of the obviously rehearsed and scripted shit that they say to each other. There's certain points where you're like, okay, that was off the cuff, that was improvised.
Yeah.
But there's so much of it that's scripted. But at the same time, who the fuck cares? It's junk food. So it's
Right.
but it was definitely an entertaining show to watch. And the thing that I liked about it the most was that there wasn't a whole lot of suspense built into it, because I fucking hate that where they have 10 minutes of footage and they stretch everything out with dramatic cuts to people's faces
And
when obviously there's nothing happening when they cut to them, and they're half dozing off, as if they're about to pass out.
They got all this bullshit on their face too. You can't even see their real expression. You're just this isn't working.
Yeah, exactly. But there were some of them were pretty decent looking. It was interesting.
The
But
prosthetics or
the prosthetics
after
were
the fact.
amazing.
Oh, okay.
They were really, really well done for the most part. I think there was one or two that was a little shoddy. One of them was what is this? They looked like this was a last minute thing. The person didn't show up and they grabbed one of the grips and they were here, spray paint this guy. They didn't even use paint that's good for your skin. Just can of spray paint. There you go. You're a robot now. Yeah, you're dead now. That's
Your
the
lines
character
are
plate.
beat and boom.
That's right. That's all we want to hear from you. And if you improvise anything else, we're going to pull your plug.
We will, and that means we will kill you.
That's right. Bullet to the head. We have a trained sniper sitting right on top of right here. He's sitting right behind the director in the dark. He doesn't even need a laser sight. He knows exactly where you're at. There's no wind in here. There's no wind. So we don't have to worry about atmospheric pressure.
Dial
Nothing.
you in right in.
Oh, let me tell you
You're
what.
dead.
We kept the humidity levels in this place just right so that bullet can fly unencumbered through your skull. All right? That's the beast. All right? You might be sexy, but I'm the beast.
It's just the show where they're leveraging threats against the fucking contestants.
Now date each other. Come on.
Now date. Now kiss. You guys kiss now.
Yeah, but that's one that if you have a little bit of time to kill and enjoy that stupid stuff, it's worth it just to watch for the
Schlocky garbage.
Yeah, and it's for me, it was the reason that I watched it because I like those. What the hell was that other show? Face Off, I think it was called. Not the Nick Cage one, but the other one, the TV show where they have different effects artists compete with each other.
It's so funny how John Travolta, nowadays, neither John Travolta nor Nicolas Cage taking each other's faces would make a goddamn bit of difference. None of them, neither of them do anything insignificant.
No.
Nick Cage will take anything. He's so up his own fucking ass.
That's right.
But also, I think he thinks he's important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's aware that he's in B movies. So
yeah,
he's not really giving
it's
it
a
his best effort.
weird dichotomy. It's almost as if he's like, no, I want to be in these.
Yeah. No, this is me.
I want to be in these movies.
I used to be in Blockbusters.
I was a Coppola.
I used to be a Coppola.
I used to be a Coppola, but at stage I put myself in this cage. Stuck here.
I would even venture to say that when harnessed right, Nick Cage can do some pretty great work.
I have never seen him do great work.
I would say he's got this. You have to use him in the right way because he has this edgy, off of the fucking rails and left field kind of delivery that he can give to a character that would need it. He's more of, I guess, a really great character actor.
Yeah.
But he has not found his stride fitting into Hollywood A-list movies.
Yeah, but his delivery is so underwhelming.
Yeah, it's wooden and it's very
that's why I hate it because it's like
if Chris was an actor.
That's exactly right. There you go. There you go.
It's very kind of flat, dry.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, and there's his emoting does not match what he's doing, especially in his eyes. Like if he's angry in a scene, he looks like he's angry in a scene. Like he looks like he's trying to be angry in that
well,
scene.
that's what makes him
And
feel
nothing
seem
happens in the eyes.
unhinged.
Right.
That's
But
where
like-
you can use him to the right.
Like Christopher
effects.
Walken. Okay, Christopher Walken's quirky. He's got his things, but when he talks to people in movies, he knows how to use his face.
He's charismatic and he's expressive.
Right. So
Yeah.
he can be weird, and it's all right. But it's not that I won't watch a Nick Cage movie. It's not that it's that, but he is definitely not my first pick for any characters.
He is kind of like gives you hope as
Yeah.
an average viewer that you could do his job.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I
I would
feel
put
what I
him in a lot of the later Johnny Depp roles. I think that he could
Yeah.
fill those where he's more like depressed, or if
Mhm.
he's like just like withdrawn or apathetic. Those I
Yeah.
think he can nail home. That's great.
I agree.
But other than that, it's like Juan says he ate a cockroach in a scene before.
His method acting, and it might have been that he was just eating it.
Hey man,
And the
it might
camera
have been
was still
craft
on.
services. We don't even know.
I just want roaches.
Like that
Just a
roach
couple
craft
roaches.
services. Now I did like him in Lord of War.
Yeah, he's good in Lord of War.
that
That's
was
what I'm
good.
saying. If you put him to a good script and the right director, I
Yeah.
think he can pull a pretty good performance out.
Yeah,
The problem is his agent. I'm sure it's just his agent
yeah,
is putting him in these weird fucking roles. Now he is the poster boy for like weird,
yeah. He's
not
been
even
all
B, but like
yes,
C,
yes,
straight to DVD movies.
right, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
which is great. He found his niche. Or
Yeah, and
niche.
I think let's see. I'm trying to think of the last one that I watched. It was something with color in the title.
Oh shit! You did talk. I think you. Did
Or
talk
there
about
was
this.
it was either that or there was a color in the title.
right.
It's something to do
It
with
was
good.
pretty new. It was a pretty new one.
I'm sure Juan will be able to tell me what it is in
Yeah.
a minute once it catches up to
Juan,
him.
pull that up for
Juan,
us.
pull that up for us. Oh, he
Sorry.
says the movie's called Vampire's Kiss. That he ate the cockroach.
Oh, the Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's one of his weirder ones.
Yes,
too.
it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great. It's good to see. It's good to see people like get into that rhythm. That's nice.
Right.
But when they step out into these other roles, especially if it's a movie that for all the other points of it, it's nice or it's good. It's like, yeah, this is a good film. And then
Sticks
Nick
out.
Cage comes along and it's like, well, who put this mannequin in the movie? So,
Well, he's always got to be Nick Cage. That's where
Yeah.
where he's limited.
well, we'll give him that. He does Nick Cage better than anybody else.
We can't do a Nick Cage like Nick Cage.
Nobody can.
I just watched today the movie A Quiet Place in preparation to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
the new Quiet Place. I keep seeing ads for the sequel.
Yes.
And I never seen the first one.
I haven't seen
I hadn't
it
gotten
either.
around to it. I decided to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And my only complaint was
It was too quiet.
Jim didn't look at the camera every time something crazy happened. He didn't go like, this monster come. I was waiting for it the whole time.
Yeah.
He's pretty separate from the whole Jim
He-
persona.
He
in
was
that
on the
movie.
Office Ladies podcast that Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey do.
Yeah, you're right. Kinsey.
Kinsey's their last name, yes.
Yeah.
So he was on there and he must have said about 4 million times, "Oh gosh, that was so long ago. We were kids then."
This is his concept of the world. I mean, it was over a decade ago. He was
yeah,
doing
but
that
that's
stuff.
not that long ago.
Not really. But when a lot of things in your life change, it feels like a long time.
Yeah, but
I think also he's like pushing probably 40 or mid 40s.
yeah,
now.
I think he's about that.
I think that span of time, he was probably in his 20s back in the Office days, late 20s.
Late, yeah, 20s, 30s. But
So
yeah,
it
I
feels
mean,
like a lifetime for him.
whatever.
Also, Hollywood time moves a lot slower than us because
It's
there's
true.
a lot more money.
This is
And
true.
the more money you have, the slower time moves.
That's
Just
right.
so you guys know. And
You
this
can
is-
pay enough money to slow down time. That's
You-
absolutely right.
We're saying it as a joke, but unironically, you fucking can.
Yep, absolutely.
Just so you guys know.
I would like it to be 12:30, please.
12:30, if you don't mind. Sir.
Somebody go move the sun.
A little bit of that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, just lubricate some of those pockets, or have palms, or whatever you need to lubricate. Whatever.
Just everything's lubed up around here.
Let's just keep everything slick, baby. We just want to keep it all sliding and diving.
slip and sliding.
That's what you
slipping
want.
And slopping.
Because the more you can slip slop all over the place, the better life is. That's always been my motto.
That's a great way to live.
Life is better with lube, folks. That's
Take
really
that away. That's our
new motto,
tagline
right?
for this episode.
That's right. Life's better with lube. You never have enough. You never can have enough.
Never enough.
Always use more because friction leads to problems. So keep everything moving smoothly, and that way your lawnmower doesn't fall to pieces. Yeah, it's all about preventative maintenance.
If we had sponsors, we would be killing the ads.
Oh my God,
We can deliver ads like all day long.
give
But we don't
us a
wanna-
product.
We don't want to burden you guys.
No.
We'll make fake ads for you.
That's what we're gonna do. Yeah,
I fucking hate ads, and we'll get into that later.
that's
Fucking can't stand them.
yeah, that's all part of the fun.
But my overall takeaway from A Quiet Place was that it was a very not extremely inventive, but a pretty inventive take on the horror genre, and I think it distinguished itself really well.
Was it really horror though, or is it more suspense?
It's pretty horror. I'd say. I mean, it's heavy suspense, but the idea, obviously, there's some kind of beings that are hunting by sound,
Right.
And so they need to, make a quiet place their home. Is
I
essentially
guess all of the recording studios in the world got destroyed.
right.
Yeah.
I think the impression I got was that the world went to hell real fast,
Mm-hmm.
and they try to soundproof stuff as best they can.
Yeah.
The problem is that they're kind of it's all taking place like around like a year after it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sort of scavenging and just trying to live. So they're out and about a lot.
Like a post-apocalyptic situation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have solutions for it, but these things it gives you the impression that these things are everywhere.
Right.
And so they could be, and if you just made a sound anywhere you were, one of them would they'd be on your ass.
Gotcha.
They're just already skulking around.
I see.
So it does feel very suspenseful because of the setup.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I liked about it was it felt kind of like a weird silent film. Like
yeah.
like a throwback to silent films that
Right.
they were trying to pull into today. So overall, just highly recommend it. Not that that's anything new to anybody. I'm so late to the fucking movie that the sequel's already out.
Well, that's the best time. Then you can binge it.
I'm binging it, baby.
Binge 'em, baby.
Binge and purge.
That's right. Benjamin Button. That's me. Let's do some weird news.
Let's go. Benjamin Button.
He doesn't know how to pace himself.
I'm just gonna go right from old
That's right.
right to young.
Yep, that's it.
All my best years are at the end.
All of them, all the best years are behind me.
They're all in front of me, and then behind me,
all in front of me,
in front,
behind me.
behind, and then in front again, and behind again.
That's right. Just exactly where we want them to be,
that's
wherever
what
they are.
Just like the Sexy Beast show.
That's right. Yeah, just
We're
like
in front, we're behind, we're in front,
Sexy
behind.
Beast. Yep. Yes, it did. So okay, all right. Let's start this all off here.
Let's do it.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah!
Weird news on the Kickstart with Matt.
Help me, Tom Cruise! Tom Cruise used a wheelchair hold me to get the fire off me! Oh, help me, Oprah Winfrey! Ah!
A tarantula enjoys a fine chewing gum. The human torch is denied a bag load. The arsonist has sponsorship.
And now with this week's weird news, here's
Righty. So I just realized I didn't start the Instagram stream. So
Oh, who
not
cares
that
about
it
the
matters.
Instagram,
They can't
people?
see us
They
anyway.
never even watch.
But it's on
How many
now.
viewers do we have on Instagram?
I don't know.
anyways?
I never really even checked that. I know we have people that only know us through Instagram, but
That's true.
whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, you're here now.
If they want it bad enough, they can listen back to it
Find
later.
us on
whatever.
Spotify,
That's
iTunes.
right. Spotify, iTunes.
What else we got? Whatever else you can think of.
Spreaker, maybe.
Spreaker.
I don't know. Wherever Stitcher, we're on there. Yeah, wherever you find your podcast, we're probably there.
We're in there, lurking around
And
in
if
the
we're
dark.
not, you need to
and
find us.
We're living in a quiet place.
We're gonna keep it real quiet.
Those things are basically liquors, by the way.
Oh,
In the movie, yeah,
Well,
they're like
maybe in the
they're-
right context.
they navigate by sound alone.
Okay.
Obviously, in the movie,
Yeah.
they have no sight, zero sight.
Okay.
So they're their design is similar to the liquors.
Mhm.
So I was like, this is a bit of a Resident Evil ripoff.
Yeah.
Because
Well, but do they have any weakness? I mean, what are they, armor plated?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
they're fucking like unstoppable. Basically,
that doesn't. No, everything has a Achilles heel.
you got to watch the movie though.
I will.
Because it does have a
I will.
weakness.
Yeah. What about super loud sound?
Mm.
Aha!
Now you're getting
See,
into it.
I don't even need to watch the movie.
It's not necessarily loud because
Uh-huh.
loud's fine. It's more
the frequency.
yeah.
Yeah, of course, because certain things will explode. So that's it. So there you go. I figured. Congratulations, Jim. I wrote the movie now. So that's right. Well, I'll tell you who else wrote the movie. We have police who are responding to an alligator in British Columbia that was loose inside a high-rise condo building.
None of this is making any sense to me.
No.
In British Columbia, an alligator's loose in a high-rise condo.
Exactly. So Constable Jason Duche of the Vancouver Police Department tweeted that officers were dispatched about 7 a.m. Thursday to a condominium building in which a woman reported she was hiding in the stairwell from a loose gator inside the building.
You gotta help me. The gators are loose.
After officers arrived, they were relieved to discover the alligator was a realistic fake gold-plated sculpture.
Gold plate. How is this lady gonna confuse a gold-plated gator with danger?
It's more like Flavor Flav came through.
Flavor Flata.
But he said the sculpture, while the wrong color for an alligator, was sufficiently detailed to cause the person panic. Running up a secluded stairwell, rounding the corner, and suddenly coming face to face with this, clean up aisle 1 for me. He wrote in his comment. So apparently, here we'll show. Let's see here. We haven't done this
I
a
really
little
do
bit.
need to see what level of realism this gator was.
It's
made with.
it's got some detail to it, so it's not completely far-fetched, but it's still like a bit ridiculous.
The gold plating. I mean, maybe this lady thought she was part of some kind of a horrific sci-fi plot.
Maybe, I guess.
These golden gators are coming after us.
Golden gator time.
British Columbia. First of all, why is a gator here all the way up in Canada?
Yeah.
And second of all, of course, they're gold because regular gators aren't from here.
That's right.
They're
Exactly
from
right.
Florida.
This regular gators don't belong around these parts.
But a gold gator?
But a gold gator? I love the gold. I love gold.
I love gold.
I guess it would be more like
I'm
gold.
surprised they didn't try to
involved.
steal it. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, this is-
I'm surprised too.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
I'd
it's-
risk life and limb for that much gold.
Yeah, right.
Fucking, those
Yeah.
fuckers are heavy. It's a lot of weight to them.
Here we go. We'll there it
Oh,
is.
come on. It looks like a kitschy hotel statue.
Well, it is.
I mean, it
well, a
does look-
condominium.
I'm not saying no offense to the artist because it does look like an alligator.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, they got that part right.
If it was painted realistically,
Yeah.
I would understand
Yeah,
the fear and confusion.
absolutely.
But I don't see it here with this golden gator. It's like some kind of James Bond villain pet.
It's absolutely like that. Yeah, it's like Goldmember got a hold of it or something like that. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well, anyhow, so that's
King Midas went to
that's
New
right.
Orleans.
He was in New Orleans.
I had
for-
some gator now. Shot
is
shot
it-
it out right.
Is it
gold.
Mardi Gras time yet? I'm looking to make a golden gator. Tell you who else was trying to make a golden gator. We're going to go to Daytona Beach.
All right, now we're going to Gator Country.
Gator time,
It's all
baby.
flipped and flopped.
A Florida man told police officers he was teaching it a lesson when he tried to throw a live alligator
More gators.
he had stolen from a miniature golf course onto the roof of a beachside cocktail lounge.
It's what? This is how they educate creatures.
Listen.
in Florida.
Go have a couple cocktails, and then maybe you'll calm down enough to finish your 18 holes here. All right?
I don't even know what to write
You're
down for
not
this
going
one.
to fuck up my 10th hole. That's the free game hole. I'm getting a hole in one on this one.
I'm going to get it through the windmill.
It's going through right through the
Ain't
the
no
gator paws.
motherfucking gator going to stop me.
They need those little tiny putters too. With the
I just imagine he hurls it by the tail.
he
like he's a
probably did.
fucking-
He probably did.
Like he's a shot putter. or
Yeah,
something.
exactly right. Well, a 32-year-old man was arrested. He was arrested early
Oh,
Thursday
Jesus.
when Daytona Beach Shores police officer spotted him attempting to throw the gator onto the roof of a cocktail lounge just off Highway A1A, according to the police report. The officers then saw the man take the gator by its tail. There you go. You were right. Hit it against the awning of the building. This is ridiculous. This is like domestic abuse. So he grabbed the alligator by its tail, hit it against the awning of the building, threw it onto the ground, stomped on it twice, and then tried to fling it onto the roof. He just like knocked down, drag out with this guy.
What does he think he is, like The Rock?
I guess, yeah. I guess he thinks he's in the ring.
President
the death
fucking
match.
Jump off the turnbuckle and try to elbow drop him. Jesus Christ.
Well, the man from Homestead, Florida, was taken into custody and charged with possession and injury of an alligator, unarmed burglary, and of an occupied dwelling, theft, and criminal mischief. The man told officers that he had stolen the gator from an enclosure at a nearby miniature golf course.
An enclosure?
Yeah. He not only did he break into this gator's house, but he took it from the house and then was angry at it to teach it a lesson.
How dare you exist?
You weren't supposed to eat my golf ball.
But I would feel a little bit more sympathetic towards this guy if the gator was loose on the golf course, which is what I imagine from the headline.
That's right. That would be different.
He took it out of its own fucking enclosure where it's being catered to and looked after and secluded from the general population.
Right.
This guy's the predator.
He's the predator. Exactly right.
He deserves to go to gator jail.
That's exactly right. And we're talking about
life sentence.
Life sentence right there. That's it. It's all over. Gator life sentence in gator jail, and the warden just nothing but raw chicken. That's all I have in the cafeteria.
Shucking chickens at him.
They're all eating it, choking it down and everything. Well, I'll tell you who else almost choked it down. A 13-year-old Pennsylvania girl.
Oh, no,
we're just going to leave that. We're not even going to finish the story. We're going to let you finish the story.
Backfires, but when it does, oh my god,
Squash and cucumbers. Who does cucumbers around here?
The 13-year-old Pennsylvania girl got more than a thrill while riding on a thrill ride at the amusement park. She was going down a hill and became encumbered by a seagull that flew right into her face while she was with her friend aboard the Spring Shot ride. So I'm guessing this is one of those like slingshot things, judging by the name, that's going to then like pull you back. This was in Wildwood, New Jersey, by the way.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's one of those things that pulls you back. The seagull just happened to be flying by. It just took it out. Yeah. There's a I don't know if we have video of this happening, but there is a still shot of this girl making contact with the seagull, and it's pretty priceless. Kylie Holman of Weatherly was celebrating the 14th birthday of friend Georgia Reed on July 6th when they got aboard the ride, which shoots passengers into the air at speeds of over 75 miles per hour.
Holy shit.
I don't know. How is the seagull still alive? The girl's ride was captured on video. Oh, it is. Okay, including the moment when the seagull flew right into Holman's face. When I got shot up, then I saw it. I was going the opposite way and then came back and it hit me right in the face. It felt really light and it only left the tiniest scratch. The seagull was killed on the spot.
Oh, seriously?
No, I made that up. Yeah, right. The video shows Kylie yelling, "A bird flew on my face, a bird flew on my face." Oh my God.
Bird flew.
Yeah, bird flew, yeah. But Georgia had no idea what was going on with her friend right next to her. I was trying to tell her, but she told me to stop talking because she thought she was going to throw up.
Shut up, I'm going to puke. I don't care if you just busted a seagull's neck with your face.
She
Shut
said,
up, seagull, I'm going to hurl. It's my 14th birthday. I'm trying to have fun.
I love throwing up. So
I just got decked in the face with a seagull like I was a plate of fries. Okay? You gotta have some sympathy
that's
for me.
Right, exactly. Throw up the other way. That would be even worse for a friend than threw up on the boat with the bird. And
the bird. Oh, that's sick.
Well, we did not know what happened until they got off. We did see feathers falling from the ride. But first, I assumed they were tickets. Oh my God, this is crazy. I waited until we spun over, and then I quickly took the bird off of my face. I didn't know I didn't know it was going to hurt me. The only thing that happened to me was a little tiny cut. That was all. She apparently has mixed feelings as to whether or not she'll go on the ride again.
She broke like 9 of the bird's ribs, and meanwhile, she's like, "I'm lucky I only have a cut." I hope they took that bird to a hospital.
They better have. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
What I'm starting to see a theme with this weird news this week, and it's kind of man versus nature.
Exactly
us
right.
Putting these poor animals in predicaments that they don't belong. Why do we need a slingshot ride that goes 70 miles an hour, 400 feet in the air?
Exactly right.
And we're just going to be killing. That's basically called the seagull Terminator.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, that's they got to rename it at this point, I think.
Look, if I don't get on that ride, and it's called if it's not called the Seagull Terminator,
exactly.
I'm not getting on.
They have to continually release seagulls too. That's the idea.
It's like a Prince video every time you go flying
exactly
in the air.
Right. Yep, they're just flying everywhere. You never know what's going to happen. Tell you who else never knew what was going to happen. The Florida Highway Patrol said a section of the interstate was closed when a crash involving a dump truck caused a spill onto the roadway. The dump truck was involved with a crash with a semi truck at mile marker 198 and spilled cow manure all over the road.
Oh, it's like fucking Biff from Back
That's
to the Future.
He hates manure.
I hate manure.
And he always spits it out first. I don't know why he always has it in his mouth.
How's he getting it in his mouth? I think he might not hate manure. I think he might like
I think
manure.
he enjoys the rush. And then
why is he always aiming at manure trucks when he's in high-speed chases with Marty?
All you got to do is turn. It's not like the steering wheel just flew off.
Now listen, for just a second, let me riff off of this Back to the Future. How the fuck are you going to go into a speed, like a high-speed chase with a guy, eat manure,
right,
and crash and fuck your car up?
Exactly.
How are you going to forget what that guy looks like?
How about a good steering wheel that doesn't fly off while you're driving?
A good steering wheel that doesn't fly out the window when you're driving. Too small.
Too small. I think it's a good idea, and I stand by it. No room for mother-in-law. I am the best at this.
He admitted.
Paul. While no one was injured in the crash, the dump truck's load of cow manure spilled onto the road, making a messy situation and cleanup for crews. Traffic was being diverted from the interstate until both lanes could be reopened. So it really it was quite a mess here. Looking at these posts here, it's weird. All of this stuff is on Twitter. So I can't actually just pull the actual pictures up. That was the only reason I could get that gator to show up there. But yeah, so we've got that. Well,
you've seen some shit. You've seen it all.
Exactly right. That's what
a bunch of shit on the road looks like. Every time I drive down the road, I see a bunch of shit.
Absolutely.
No
Doesn't mean that you can always do it though, and that's what a Florida man returning home from a doctor's appointment found when he got home to see a stranger skinny dipping in his backyard swimming pool. How did you get back there? At first, the man only noticed clothes scattered across his lanai earlier this week.
Is this like a War of the Worlds situation?
Something's going on here.
What happened to the body that was in these clothes?
I think we got an animorph around here somewhere.
It must have turned into a cockroach or something.
So Charlotte County Sheriff's officials said that he then saw a woman in his pool and called deputies. The woman was hostile and told sheriff deputies to leave her alone. You better leave me alone. They asked her several times to get out of the pool and get dressed. She finally followed their orders, but resisted when the deputies tried to detain her. She pulled away and said she was not going anywhere.
I'm just trying to get a swim in.
And I forgot my trunks. Deputies took her to Charlotte County Jail, but she refused to tell them her name. Officials eventually identified her through previous jail booking photos. A 42-year-old woman was charged with trespassing, resisting a law enforcement officer without violence. So that's it, folks. If you need to go skinny dipping, make sure that they're gone for the week. Make sure that they're gone for the week and that you're gone before they get back.
I would venture to say that this woman doesn't do a lot of research on really anything.
No, I don't think that she has a whole lot of foresight when it comes to, especially given her arrest record and the fact that she was refusing to get out of the pool. You know, all of these.
I'm already wet.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Leave me alone. You can't hold me down anyway. I'm all wet, slippery. I'm all slippery and slippery.
I'm an alligator right now. Stay away.
I'm invincible.
I'll death roll you.
I'll put you in a death spiral like a raw chicken.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you who else was like raw chicken. A New York man and a Maine woman are facing charges over trying to transport a cake that was seized from their vehicle. The Maine Drug Enforcement Agency said Wednesday.
It's just like a vanilla alert.
Yeah. Too much vanilla in there. You could kill somebody with all that. Acting on a tip, police spotted the car on Interstate 295 on Tuesday, and a drug sniffing dog found 4 pounds of cocaine worth $200,000 on the street. And also seized $1,900 in cash. About 2 pounds of the cocaine was disguised as a marble cake with coffee grounds used to cover up the scent. That's a reference from The Office. You ever see that episode where they're waiting outside of David Wallace's house to try and talk him in, and Dwight goes through his trash. It's like, was he enjoying a delicious hot beverage, or was he trying to disguise cocaine from drug-sniffing dogs? Well, about 2 pounds of the cocaine was disguised, I already said, as a marble cake. The two were released on bail and were expected on court Wednesday. It's unknown if they had a lawyer, but agents believe the drugs were to be distributed in surrounding counties.
I want to go to that party.
That's right. MDEA was assisted in the investigation. MDMA was assisting everybody. Joe Rogan's giant blood-filled corpse was there, rolling down the hill.
I've never heard of ayahuasca.
The overinflated inner tube blown by the wind.
This Macy's Day Parade, I better see a giant fucking blow up of Joe
Why not?
Rogan.
It's the only venue in which he hasn't filled yet.
That's right. It's the only space.
He's everywhere else, but in the
Eyes
parade.
and ears. Now he's on Spotify only.
Is he really?
I believe so. I see clips of him on YouTube. But he's at the end of them. It's always tagline with "Check out new." He's so cheesy and fucking chilling at the end. Check out new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience on Spotify. You can get it free, and also by that time I turn it off because I'm like,
right, exactly.
I got 1 minute of Joe Rogan's enough for me.
Yeah, that's all we need. 1 minute is fine. Let's just cut him out of most of the scenes. We don't need to keep cutting back to him making faces or staring with a furrowed brow. like we're here to listen to the guests. All right, that's why we're here.
It's just yet another example of how anyone out here can do exactly that.
That's all you need.
No skill.
Nope.
It's just because he has connections. It doesn't mean he's actually good at a goddamn thing.
Nope.
He just mirrors everyone. He's like a chameleon. I could do the Joe Rogan bit, but without a fucking doubt. I do that just to interact with people in general.
That's exactly right.
If you record me talking to famous people doing exactly what I normally do, I'd be Joe Rogan. Except I wouldn't be half as stupid.
Exactly right.
And I keep my own fucking opinions too.
That's the important thing.
Here I am.
And we've got the evidence.
I've got the pitch. It's my sales pitch right there. That's my evidence.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to make some more sales pitches.
Can't wait.
I can't wait.
Like
I can't
we have
wait to see.
guarantee of the
We're gonna
future.
do it. We're gonna have it all fall into place here. I'm telling you, by episode 1000, we're gonna be seeing so many celebrities come in this seat. Chris is gonna be dead, so we won't. He's gonna be Ghost Chris floating along there. It's gonna be wonderful. We don't have to worry about it.
The only thing we'll be successful at is doing the live stream of our own deaths, like our bodies melting into goo.
Yeah, I really think that at some point we should do like a live episode with a crowd, just to be disappointed by no one showing up, or just like two people. Just because if we don't really scrape the bottom of the barrel, how are we going to know what's underneath that barrel?
That's a good point.
These are the questions we need to be asking Joe Rogan.
Scrape it,
because
Joe.
This is
talking directly to Joe.
Exactly.
Now.
I hope he's listening, because we
like
too are on Spotify. Exactly.
Like we're doing a seance. These questions are for you, Joe.
These are for you, Joe Rogan. Let's get these direct answers straight from your blood-filled, overinflated corpse.
He might as well be a Weekend at Bernie's thing. They've got it
exactly.
They can already deep fake him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been proven.
Yeah, of course.
So we don't need him anymore. He's probably dead.
It's time to retire. You can collect your royalty checks. for all of the excess blood. And so whatever therapies he's working on or whatever he's currently into, float tanks or whatever. And ultimately we're looking for a little bit less live Joe Rogan in the world. And that's it. I was going to say
Robo Rogan.
Yeah, Robo Rogan will be fine because you can turn him off. You can unplug him.
That's all I want.
Pull those batteries. They're D batteries. They're big, but that makes them, what they say, the bigger the battery, the harder they fall. So that's what they say when it comes to assault, I think. That's the important thing to remember. The other thing that's important to remember is that it's the end of the episode. We're done.
Oh, all right.
We're all
I thought we were doing one more story, but it doesn't matter.
No, we're all done. There's nothing else to talk about.
There's not one more thing we could say at this point that would be of interest.
Except we'll see you next time on another episode of the Kickstart with Matt.
And Matt.
We'll see you
no
later.
one else.
Nobody
Just
else.
us.
Because you know what we say. We don't need them.
Who needs them? Fuck 'em.
We don't need them. And so we'll see what the future holds here. I don't know what we're going to do with these segments. We keep saying we're going to put them on the Patreon, but nobody's on the Patreon, so then no one will see them. So, well, who knows? Who knows what'll happen?
We'll keep making stuff. We can guarantee this much. We'll keep making shit,
exactly.
and we'll keep making it available.
We're
in
not
some
going to
form.
stop talking to each other at any
can't
point
stop
soon.
talking.
Can't stop.
Only if
Can't
I
stop. Won't stop.
That's right. If all my vocal cords get surgically removed, that's the only time I'll actually shut up.
And even then, I'll figure out how to do stuff like nose whistle.
I'm gonna be like Stephen Hawking, where I can type out.
Oh man! Then
you will hear anything that I have to say.
We're gonna be so intelligent when that happens.
All it takes to make you smart is a wheelchair and a computerized voice.
Remember that, kids.
That's my lesson this week.
Goodbye.
Get out of here. Leave. Go. Quick, run. We're transforming.
All right, everybody online, all three of you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
as
you for
always.
joining us.
I know the loyal people here.
This Chris, yes, we
them.
know who you are, and we thank you for being present.
And Ghost Chris.
Ghost Chris
will likely have his pixelated vocal cords reassembled into a real shape that we're used to seeing.
He'll be back in familiar form again someday soon. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds for everybody. So oh yeah, that's right. I stopped that. I was like, wait a minute, 37 minutes.
Please stop recording.
So we'll see everybody on the next adventure. Have a wonderful rest of your week or terrible week or who knows what's going to happen.
If you're going to have a shitty week, revel in it too. That's what I say. There's no requirement for you to have a good week.
No.
If you want to have a shitty one, own it.
That's why I like Kevin Smith. Have a week.
Have all week.
Have a week is all that we're giving you the week to figure out all this shit that we talked about.
You don't always have to be happy.
Clean up the manure. Put your clothes back on.
Spit the manure out.
Stop picking on the alligators, even if they're plated in gold. And just live your life. Just live your cocaine-riddled life.
Live it up.
In Florida.
Anything that sucks that you hate,
yeah,
it's not as important as whatever makes you happy.
See?
I'm not going to say have a happy time, but fuck all that other shit. That's my advice.
Truer words have never been spoken.
That's not that I've heard.
Yep, absolutely. Except for Benjamin Button. So.
Benjamin Button.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Take it light.
Bye.
See ya. Where's the off button?